I think a lot of memories come to mind, and it's really from the childhood days where we would go to National Stadium for band competitions, National Day celebrations, and also during National Days as well. I actually went there for National Day parades to participate in it.
I mean, I used to watch the Malaysian Football Cup. When those days you were not born. The Malaysian Football Cup, when there was this Malaysia against Singapore. There's 11 states, 9 states in Malaysia. Fighting the Singaporean keep hitting back. And there was a real period when we can hear the roar, the Singapore Lion, right?
I remember the flashcard display particularly well actually, because I fell sick while doing it, because you had to sit under the sun in the hot afternoon, like 12 p.m. during school time. But of course, you get a break from going to school, so we quite enjoyed it.
Yeah, when Fran approached us, I discussed it with my partner Francesca, and we both felt that it was a meaningful project because somehow the wood of the National Stadium has gone through all these national events, and we feel that there's probably a lot of spirit of those events recorded into the wood itself.
I guess the stadium has always been a symbol of a collective spirit and a great kind of leveler. You know, sports kind of equalizes all men, and people from all walks of life attend. For a moment, together you become this collective entity, and I think that's a really important advent that every nation needs to have. Atmosphere really changes depending on how you experience it, and I think a stadium in essence cannot be experienced as a product of one man's singular experience. It has to be a collective one.
This final one that we were most satisfied with was, it begins with the smallest wave, just this one catalyst, and then it just grows and grows to this massive 9-meter bench.
When these planes actually slide from one another, they create this profile that can be matched to another piece of the bench. So if you look at this idea of bonding, and then you relate to the stadium is stretched of rows of bench, side by side. And because all the bench are placed together, it actually encourages the people to sit together.
I try to create this podium where it's very common, like first place, second place, and third place. So it's always about this first position, second position, third position. And I thought like that sets the benchmark for my project. So I named it Benchmark Set.
Adventures that could allow people to create intimacy as individuals or even as a big group. So that's how we decided that each man would become a bench itself, with differing heights and shelters for little children. And it's sort of like something sculptural.
Then we think, and that's what we came up with. It's like many people are involved, a lot of memories are involved. It's dynamic, but not so literal.
We came out with the idea that we want to represent the 4 major ethnic groups in Singapore. So that's how we came up with the symbol of the 4 hands clasping each other. And we went on from there with the sketches and concept.
Our strategy was to have minimum intervention to able to read this relic as pure as what it is. Just like a museum relic, you put it there and you explain the history, that lost fragment of things. So you do not really want to read a functional meaning into that. So that was the starting point. The outcome, of course, was very simple. We literally took the 12 relic, and in fact we just assemble it in a very straight linear format, because that's the simplest you can do by not touching it, by not modifying it.
We wanted to appropriate this idea of bolting down onto frames and keep it as such, because it is important to embrace the nature of a public sitting experience in this way.
It will be a way to cut down a part of something that is so historical in our Singapore context. It will be ways to just chop it down to smaller pieces. So I think the core of the entire concept was to really just keep what we have. Yeah, by doing almost nothing to the material itself, but just introducing maybe new holes that you create to actually pull all these planks together by a metal brace within the bench.
We created this small little enclosure that is inserted into a typical cantilevered bench. We left space around the house structure such that it's both for public as well for private moments.
I guess we hope that just simply through the wood being aged and bearing these traces of time, that people would question, why is this bench looking like this, and that would they would then sort of go a little further and find the plaque that says actually this bench is made from the original wood of the stadium.
This bench is perfect for people who wants to get together, whether you meet up old friends or you get together for a campfire or meet up together to have a conversation in a meeting. Because it's on bar height, it puts you on a higher, on a very alert position, and it's more interactive because it's not a chair that you slouch on, so there's no back, and it can be arranged in a circle formation, so you always interact with people that surround you. So be it as in a serious meeting or something fun that you can have.
The unique design idea about our bench is the marriage of an old partner for the timber, which is the recycled concrete that we have actually preserved from basically the site behind us, the new sports hub. It's a new sports hub in the construction process itself, or through demolition. We've actually kind of recycled 100% of the old concrete of the stadium. So part of the idea of the bench is to bring back this concrete which the old benches were sitting on in the past.
I think this competition is meaningful because it allows us to kind of immortalize that spirit of the old National Stadium in something that will be still around, although the actual stadium is gone. And I hope to create something that would remind people of the old stadium and bring back all the memories. My bench is about people and about bringing people together.
The computer doesn't think for you. It doesn't feel the way the pencil does or the hand. This is hand molded. See the shape of nature of a hand of human. It's very natural, right? You can fold it to any form, any shape you want. It's more than just a chair. And I hope this bench concept would contribute to the industrial designers, people who want to go beyond just the computer.
So the deeper meaning to this bench, which is dedicated to, I would say, all Singaporeans, not just one person, is that you should find your comfort level. Of course, you always should try to be the best that you can, but sometimes the best doesn't mean the top position.
I will dedicate this bench to my two kids. And actually to further that idea is actually to dedicate them to the future generation. I think that's very important because through the design of the bench, although they may not know anything about the old National Stadium, but they will be able to enjoy and even allow them to understand this very significant piece of history, and through that create their own kind of memories and experience for themselves in a whole new context.